It's been a minute, but I think I'm back. You sure? For good this time. Okay, I promise. Became something from nothing, I'm getting noticed in public. People loving my music, they place nothing above it. I'm a dreamer. Oh yeah, cause I'm a dreamer. Oh yeah, I'm not a one-hit wonder. My name echoes like thunder. Just know I'm here to stay and wake you out your sleep.
All right, if you're ready, we'll get started.
Yeah, let's get started.
All right, everybody, welcome to this amazing episode of Around the Loop. And like I said, I'm a mobile podcaster, so we're on the go. And today, I have a very special guest coming from Oceanside, California. And I have no other than...
JKrunk, you already know, JKrunk, spell it right.
There we go, and I'll make sure I put it down so you guys can actually read it. So thank you so much for being on today's episode of Around the Loop. I really appreciate you having the chance and the time to come out here to do this with me.
Yeah, no doubt.
So let's tell the world who you are. Let's tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay.
Let's introduce yourself.
So, Oceanside native, first and foremost, you know what I mean? Shit, you guys know me. But to the world, you know, I'm just an artist that's trying to get, heard, trying to get the message out, pushing past boundaries, just, trying to experience like the greatness that I know I was destined to put out there, so.
I appreciate that. So I want to ask, first question is, how did you come up with your name? Let's start with that.
Shit, you want like the real or just like a quick breakdown?
I mean, it depends what you want. It depends what you want to share to the world, because it's going to be on the record.
Yeah,
so.
Okay. So I would say I was like in middle school,
okay,
like 7th grade and whatnot. This is like, crunk era. So Lil Jon,
yes, sir.
Like, 3-6, fucking Trillville, all that, I would say it was around that time. So, I was kicking it with some individuals and whatnot, and, they were like, well, shoot, like after today's, festivities, you're going to have like a name for yourself, So, I chose my name, JKrunk, so I was like, shit, we crunk, we head vessels around
here, I like that. It fits well.
Yeah,
it flows well.
Yeah.
It does.
And I spelled it with like a K because I didn't want to like be a part of, quote unquote, like, that whole movement.
Yes.
It was like inspired by it, but I
totally know what you mean.
It's a little Cali twist to it,
yes,
know
sir.
what I mean? So,
no, and I like that. I really do. So just to let everybody else know, has there been ever time where you actually veered off from that name and went a different name, or you just stuck with it ever since?
I stuck with it, but recently with, me just trying to think about like a rebrand and whatnot, I've always thought about like Jerry West, you know what I mean? So it's
okay.
Yeah, because like
that's
the
some
logo,
fun shit right there.
Yeah,
I like
because
that.
there's like a couple things to it. So it's like, of course, like, because like I'm really inspired by like, unfortunately, by Ye, you know what I mean?
No,
formerly
so
known
am I
as Kanye
too.
West,
like,
you know what I mean? So
got a lot of love for this man.
Yeah, I fucks with him like tough,
real.
and just like his musical genius, like his creativeness,
Man, the old Kanye like that, and the new Kanye too. Anyway, but I know he's wild and stuff, but his music creativity is like no other.
Yeah. Then at the same time, I was like, well, shoot. Even like on some street shit, just like, like niggas pay attention to sports and shit. So if you're a real baller, you should know. So the logo for NBA, the dude with like, bouncing the ball and shit, like the red and blue, his name is actually Jerry West.
Okay,
you know what I mean? So I'm like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's almost like,
spinning facts.
Because I spit a bar one time. I was like, what is it? Be the logo for the league that only puts the best on. You know what I mean?
Shit.
So I was just
like
okay,
that.
that's Jerry West right there. Like, maybe I should fuck with that name.
So he is the official logo.
Yeah, so I was like, well, shit, maybe I could be the logo for the West type shit. You know
like
what I mean?
that.
I could, just dreams. You know
what I mean? Hey, dreams are just steps for us, for the reality. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I believe in it.
Yeah, and I was just like, instead of just spelling it regular, like Kanye West or whatever, it was going to be a WES $T.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, Jerry West, still about his cash and shit. Coming up with logos, different names, but like it never really like, it never just like fit, I guess. You know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah.
And what got you into music? What inspired you into this musicality here?
Well, I would say honestly, if you go back and listen to my song Dreamer that just dropped, on the second verse, I said, expelled for poetry in the 5th grade, bad to the bone is what they tried to say, not realizing they changed my life on that day. It was So yeah, like got in trouble at school, you know, for writing down some rhymes, and like the rhymes that I put in there, some of it was like, I'm not gonna lie, inspired by 50 Cent. Get Rich or Die Trying was at the time, you know what I mean? And the only bars that I took, and the only bars that I took from that was, I think it was like, I'm a diamond in the rough that can't be found, an underground king, and I ain't been crowned kind of shit, you know?
Sir.
But all the other stuff was me, you know? Shit, I got like the paperwork still at home, you know what I mean? But since then, I was just like, yo, I need to go ahead and use this as like, you know, my expression, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you know, it was like around me. You know, my environment was also just like what was going on television, like what you see in the music videos and shit like that, you know what I mean? Like the hood was like right around the way from my house, you know? So when I come outside of my section, you know, and I'm at my, you know, crossroads and shit, I'm, you know, I'm seeing like the homies over here doing their thing, you know, da-da-da-da-da, you know, so, you know, it kind of just came like that, really, you know, and I was like, well,
yes, sir.
I guess it's my time to, you know, put on, you know, like for my say,
yes, sir.
You know, so, yeah.
Okay, no, I appreciate that, and so I wanted to ask, when did you drop your first song? I mean, either off the record, we keep it. Oh, this one is like official, unofficial first song. That's my question.
My first song, or first two songs.
Yes.
What was it? It was called "Making Money" and "I'm a Pimp."
Okay. Hey, you gotta start somewhere.
Yeah, and this is like what? Yeah, still middle school days. So,
nice.
Yeah, so 7th grade, maybe even like a little bit earlier, maybe 6th grade. Yeah, probably like sixth grade or some shit like that. I don't remember the year, but early 2000s, probably like 2004, some shit like that. I don't know. It's a long time ago. I'm old, so I forget shit.
We were talking about earlier about your songs in your childhood days. It was "I'm a Pimp" and "Getting Money." Where did the inspiration of "I'm a Pimp" and "Getting Money" come from at such an early age? I believe you said 7th grade, right?
Yeah. Honestly, yeah, it was a wild time, you know. I would say, yeah, the song "Making Money" was just like, you know, people always talking about like hustling, getting their shit right, you know what I'm saying? And it takes money to make money.
True.
And like, you know, at that age, I was really influenced by, you know, the hustlers that were around me, you know, the dudes on the street corners and stuff like that, you know what I mean? The trap houses before they were trap houses kind of deal.
True.
And then like, "I'm a Pimp," that was just more so, you know, it's just like pimping, you know what I mean? Talking about like, oh, I look fresh, I look fly, like, you know, more legit, you know?
Yes,
so I was just like, shit, I'm trying to have some money in my pocket. I'm trying to like look fresh at the same time. And that's what I'm about, you know? So.
And did you ever actually perform those songs in front of anybody at that early age? That's what I'm kind of curious.
No, not at all.
Okay, just curious. I didn't know if there was a talent show or something you were performing it.
Nah.
That would have been a highlight.
Nah. Hell no.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah.
You might have to perform one just for the one time.
I don't even remember I remember like all the lyrics. Nah, it's what is it? What was it like? Walking down the street 'cause I'm a pimp. Got money on my mind 'cause I ain't no simp. Being me is legit. What is it? Being me is legit. Something. If you're wondering, we'll take a hint or some shit. Like, it was just something like real simple. You know what I mean?
Sketchy.
Almost like the 80s type track. You know what I'm saying?
That's kind of vibe I got from that.
Yeah.
No, that's what's up. That's hilarious. So, so that was the start of your whole music career. Basically, that's where it all kind of started.
Yeah.
And from there, what other musicians inspired you? I mean, like in your style and stuff. Because I mean, you must have gone through different styles, or did you just keep one? Or let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay, so when I first started rapping and whatnot, it was more so like underground. Like I said, like Swisher House, Chameleonaire, Paul Wall, Mike Jones, you know, Slim Thug, Razak, 50/50 Twins, like the whole camp, you know. And then like SUC, like, you know, Color Change and Click, like all Southern, like underground, you know.
Yes, sir.
And then eventually it became like more of like a West Coast sound because I was a little bit older and I started like experiencing the things that they were talking about. You know what I mean? Because at first it was just like, oh, okay, like that's West Coast. But then eventually it was like, oh, like those are the, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I just thought my cousins like blue a lot. Like,
Yeah.
I just thought the homies like red a lot, like, or whatever the case is, you
I
know.
thought it was your
And
favorite
then,
color.
yeah, and then eventually you figure it out. You know, you put two and two together, and then you know, fast forward in like a couple years, and then you know, like the Lupes, the Kanyes, and
Yes.
you know, Kid Cudi, like Yellow Wolf, like all of those started to come out, and I started like discovering these artists and stuff like that, you know. And it just kind of transitioned, and then even till now, it's like underground mixed with like mainstream. So it's lyrical, but it's club, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you could listen to it when you're having a good time, but at the same time, you could switch it up and be like, damn, like he's actually spitting, you know what I mean? And like I'm in the club, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Or I'm just kicking it with the homies, or we're having a good time, or you know what I mean? It's all around.
I like the diversity on that because, yeah, like you said, it's either you can be at the club, you can be with the homies, either at the gym too. I mean, it's all diversified.
Yeah.
So it's really nice that you give that music to people.
Yeah.
And so I've been seeing that you've been working really hard on social media, especially with all these Instagram reels and posts that you've been doing, and new music that's you've been dropping here and there. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay. I would say honestly, it's because I needed to prove to myself that I could be consistent. You know, I didn't need to prove it to anybody else. You know, it's really just about myself. Like when I look at it all and everything like that. And even on a side note, even when like I write music and stuff, and like when I listen back to it, I'm like, damn, like that's like almost like a letter to yourself, opposed to like, you know what I mean?
I like you said, I like that you said that so much, because it's a letter to myself.
Yeah,
I never thought about that actually.
Yeah, because again, some of it's personal, some of it's just like I'm proving to myself that I still can be what I dreamed to be as a kid. That's why like the song Dreamer and whatnot, you know, is out. But like it's just really just, you know, how it is nowadays. It's all about numbers, it's all about like reels, and it's all about content. And it's crazy to think about it, but people actually, they watch music more than they listen to it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They need to see it.
Yeah.
It's weird to say that, but yeah, they got to see it.
Yeah, so it's more so along the lines of when people go on social media, right? They spend most of their time on social media, TikTok, Instagram, you know, Facebook, Twitter, whatever the case is. It's like, if it doesn't like look appealing, they're not going to really listen to it. And then somebody plays it in the car and they're like, bro, we just watched that video the other day. You don't remember I sent it to you? And you're like, oh, that was that? Oh, okay. Oh, that's different. You know what I'm saying? That's why like it's kind of hard though too, because, you know, growing up in my era and whatnot, there were no cameras like that.
No.
It wasn't about like how you looked. It was more so about like, can you spit? You know what I'm saying?
If you were lyrical, if you had the talent, it was just raw.
Yeah, you got 16 bars right now. Can you freestyle? You know what I mean? Like the content of what you were saying, opposed to like nowadays it's all about marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like if your marketing isn't great, like you're not going to be like successful. And like that's my struggle right now. You know what I'm saying? Is like, how can I market myself in a way that's like not contradicting or jeopardizing my message or like who I am as an artist, but at the same time being able to get it into cast a wider net to get more people in. You know what I mean? So.
And what motivates you to continue to create content that you keep pushing yourself? What is motivating you to keep pushing yourself? You know, even though times are super hard at moments, you want to give up. Like, what is it? Is it family? Is it your little one? Is it somebody that's?
I would say family. Family for sure. I would say also like my inner child too. Like.
Yeah, I like that.
Like proving it to myself, you know what I mean? Like, and then even on like on a spiritual level, it's like all the shit I've been through and whatnot, you know, all the fertilizer before I was able to like come out of the dirt and like blossom into like the rose from concrete that I am type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's honestly just really proving it to myself, man. You know, God didn't put me here to experience like all this hardship just for me to keep taking L's. You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like there has to be a big win around the corner, and I keep like saying that recently and whatnot. Like it's more of my motto. Like I need a win. I need a win, and it's not like a championship. It's not like a quick sprint, you know, like cliche as it is, like, you know, it's more of like a marathon, like continuous.
Yes,
and it's like
the
win that I need is like something that is going to give me that platform, that's going to give me that space, that's going to be able to launch me into a place where I can become even more prosperous and then like see more fruits of my labor. But then it also puts me on a level because I become a seed again. I'm planting myself just to get to the, you know what I mean? And it keeps going up, keeps going up. There's levels to it. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm really all about, honestly. You know, level up, level up.
No, and that's good that you stay motivated like that, because it is hard during these current times. It is hard, especially that you're balancing a regular job, you're balancing family, you're also balancing your musician life, and then on top of that, the content creator side. So it's 4 different jobs.
Yeah.
On top of beats, I'm not even sure. You probably have more that you got going on too.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to juggle at once, and I give you big props on that for being able to manage all that, because it is hard, especially when you're doing a lot of it on your own. I can definitely relate 100%. I know how that is.
Yeah, it is difficult. You know, some people smoke, some people drink. You know, some people like they hit. They do fitness, whatever the case is. Like I'll hit the gym, I'll drink. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll spend time with my family. You know, whether that's like a movie night, whether that's like a let's go walk around the block real quick, or even like doing like a church, like service and whatnot, or whatever the case is. It's like you just honestly got to keep pushing, dog. Like, and it's funny because like I feel like I'm still talking to myself. You know what I mean? Because I keep saying it, like keep going, and I'm telling myself, but also like the viewer and stuff like that.
And that's the motivation that people need too. They need to hear. There's a lot of people in this world that are going through some hard times right now, and just hearing that you are a regular person like me, like everybody else, and we all have big goals and dreams that we're inspiring to achieve, and to see the motivation and the talent that's coming out of Oceanside, it's amazing. Especially what you're representing here as well. Like I give you big props to that. I really do.
Thank you.
And it's a lot of work, especially.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask, like, as we dive into the music side, I want to ask on the family side.
Okay.
So let's talk about fatherhood. So how was that? How did it change you from when you weren't a father to what you are now, a father? How much change has happened? How much growth?
On what level? Like all around? Like you want
mentally, spiritually, physically? Like like a whole overview,
so
pretty much.
Overview, because like that could be like a whole podcast episode within itself, honestly. But I would say, just like an overview of everything like that. I would say it's more so along the lines of it taught me patience. I could say that. You know what I mean? You're good. I would say it's taught me like a lot of patience. It's taught me resilience. It's taught me honestly just like like really it's strength. Like mental strength, spiritual strength. Like I said, like life will throw curveballs at you. It doesn't matter how prepared you are for that moment, how prepared you are for whatever the case is, like it'll happen. And it's more so along the side of how you bounce back. I used to think it was like how can you prepare for a child, how can you prepare to be a husband, how can you prepare to be a musician, you know what I mean? And it's like everybody always thinks about how to get there, but what happens when you get there? Nobody ever thinks about that, And that's the thing about it.
You're right about that.
They're like, I want the nice car, I want the house, I want the nice job. And it's like, okay, what happens when you get that? Because then after that, it's about retention. How can you keep that? How can you?
How can you continue to keep it?
Yeah.
Because it'll go away real quick.
Exactly. So many people talk about obtaining these things, but what happens, like I said, like retention. How can you hold on to it? Obtaining it is one thing. Sure, you can pick up a glass, you can get some money in your hand and stuff, but it's like, okay, the retention side of like the finance would be, okay, like, am I going to invest? How can I save this in like an account? How can I, literacy, blah, 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 blah. And it's like that with like family. It's like, okay, we have this family core now. How can I, uplift my family? How can I motivate my family? How can I also be like a pillar in my family? You know what I mean? Whether that be, the next in line, because I'm very traditional, in my way of thinking.
Yeah.
I'm very traditional. I'm like, okay, like I'm like my dad was like this, and then my elders in my family are like this, and I look at them. It sounds like some shit out of a movie, but like I look at like the elders in my family as like noblemen, like these people that have been designated with a certain assignment, a certain position, and of course, you know, they assign you certain tasks and whatnot, and it's like you need to complete these tasks. It's very like militant in a sense.
No, and I like that there's an actual legitimate structure, and it's nice to hear that there's that there, you know, each gentleman in the family has a purpose, has a core purpose, and an actual mission. And, you know, for the folks out there that are listening to this, like, you know, for you gentlemen or you women out there or both, I mean, like, you guys everybody has a core mission in their life, and, you know, we all have to learn how to achieve it and what we can do to, you know, help ourselves and help those around us, you know, as well. And I hear that it's very motivational, and it's really nice to be able to have a proper structure and a group of, you know, role models. It's important. It really is.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, because I would say there's times where I'm like super hard on myself, whether that be like with the music, with being like a human being and stuff. And it's like, you know, even my wife, she's always telling me like, just give yourself some, like, cut yourself some slack, give yourself like a little bit of like, you know, like celebrate sometimes. Like you've been through like the fucking ringer, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but you just got to keep your head high, and it's like, yeah, sure, I've been through all that, but I know there's more, and I'm focused on, like I was saying, retention. I'm focused more on the future. I'm more focused on everything else, and you know, unfortunately, like, fortunately, but unfortunately, like, drinking, like, it keeps me in the moment. It keeps me present. Like, I'm not thinking about what happened back then. I'm not thinking about what's in the future. It's like in the now.
But it's a good it's a good way to say that. And it's not a bad thing for the folks that, you know, don't get it twisted either. Don't be consistent, you know. But you have a way to balance it, though. That's
and I'm not condoning like drinking. I'm not condoning any drug use.
Yeah, no, I get like you guys.
Nothing like that. It's
but
just,
it helps you stay at steady level right there.
Yeah. I have my vices. I have my flaws. You know what I mean? Just like any person.
Yeah, true.
But I would say, you know, I'm working on those things, and I hope that you're working on yours as well. Because
appreciate that. That's
because tomorrow isn't promised. You know, family members, like they come and go. You know what I mean? And you just really gotta appreciate where you're at today, because, you know, I'm not trying to go all deep and stuff.
No, you're good, because I like the legacy that, you know, you want to leave. There is an impact that you want to change. So like my question is to you is, what legacy, what impact, what do you want Oceanside to remember your name? If you know, they hear Oceanside, they hear JKrunk, like what do you imagine Oceanside to remember you as, and then those around? I know it's a big question. It is.
Nah, it's not. Oh, okay. It's not, because like, as a very like deep-rooted individual, it's probably because I'm a Pisces. I don't know, fucking water sign. But I'm really deep. So how it goes is just there's so many times where I picture, and it sounds like all morbid, but like I'll picture like, you know, like my funeral sometimes, and it's more so like, who's gonna show up? And it's like, these people are going to try to speak at the podium. And I'm like, nigga, you fake as fuck. Like,
I thought of it too. I've sat there and thought of it too.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, like, my family's finna be up there, like, crying their heart out. And somebody's gonna be like, yeah, I was just like his best friend, this and that. I'm like, nigga, I ain't got no friends. Like, quit your bullshit.
His favorite song was
like,
this, X, Y, and Z. You're like, no, it wasn't.
Yeah, that kind of shit. But, like, it's more so along the lines, like, okay, what are these people going to say about me? You know? And it's like, I was telling myself this the other day, and I thought about it at work. I was having like a shitty day, and it was just like, you know, you can't die yet, Jerry, because nobody can tell your story the way that you can tell it.
100%.
You know what I mean? And that, like, it was like an epiphany. It was just like poof. Like, why would you let other people try to tell others, you know, how blessed you are, how strong you are, how cool you were, like how smart you were, whatever. And it's like, why don't you just go out there and be that? You know what I mean? And let the record reflect itself. You know, let the record show. That. But I would say, even just to like roundabout answer the question, I want Oceanside, anybody that listens to my music, a fan, people that, you know, whatever, like, I want you guys to remember me as the person that broke through the ceiling, that broke the barrier. You know what I mean? Because sure, Oceanside at a time, it was very, you know, gang related, it was violent, it was very drug related, whatever the case is. And it's like, but we're not there anymore. You know what I mean? We've grown so much, like the shit's gentrified now. You know what I mean? The hood's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, you can't bang when you got to go to work and you got kids. You know what I'm saying? What you gonna say? Like, oh, I got to get off early. I got to go put it on for the set. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same, dog. Like, you got to grow up sometimes. You know what I mean? Because we don't own these streets. We don't own this stuff. And it's like, they're so willing to push us out. You know what I mean? So quick, so easily. So it's like, I want people to remember me as like basically the evolution of the city. Sure, I'm a native. I've witnessed what I needed to witness, and then from like how I've evolved and became this beautiful thing through all the pain and all that stuff and all the transitions of life, that I'm like the city, because the city has gone through that. You know,
it really has.
Like I used to, you know, when we were kids and shit, you know, before anybody was really popping and stuff, it was always like, oh, who's going to be the king of the city? Who's going to be the face of the city? Like Oceanside, this and that. And it's like, plenty of people have already got a foot up in the game. They're doing their thing. They're screaming Oceanside, like, you know, worldwide type shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all domestic, all wherever you're at, you know what I'm saying? Internationally, wherever. And it's like, when that happened, it wasn't a disqualification of like who's putting on for the city or who's, and then it changed into, it doesn't matter who gets there first. It doesn't matter who does it the best. It's the fact that the message is being spread through various like avenues now. You know what I mean?
That's what I like about that. I truly do. And it's, because it's like, okay, now that we did have certain artists pop off and Oceanside and UCO, they're X, Y, and Z. And it's like, now it's a lot of talent that's just pouring out. Oceanside this, Oceanside that. And it's a phenomenal thing to see. Just alone in this city alone. Yeah. It's amazing to see all the raw talent from all different corners, and then coming from North County all the way down to San Diego and all the way up to LA. I mean, but here it's like, and I've learned in one of my interviews was to hopefully make Oceanside the center point between San Diego and LA, because we have all that talent too in San Diego. We got all that talent in LA. We have music, art schools too in LA. I think there's one in San Diego. I believe there might be one, but we don't have anything here. Like, why aren't we focusing on the youth too? Why aren't we teaching these? Like, it's because right here, this is where the talent is. This is the talent pool, you know? Sure, you have it in LA, you have it in San Diego, you have it in surrounding counties, whatever you want to say. Yeah. But like, this is where like tradition meets respect, meets evolution, meets I sometimes I can't even find the words for it, but it's like, this is where it's at. You know what I mean? You want to see like the next thing that's coming, this is where it's at. It's because Oceanside is so territorial, it's so prideful, to the fact where we're so hungry. We're not desperate, we're hungry. Like, it's like, we need our shine. We know what we're owed because we've been in this shit for so long. And we've been skipped over. We've been skipped over, whether it comes to LA artists, whether it comes to San Diego artists. And I'm always like, there's a disconnect between San Diego and the Oceanside as well. You know, people talk about it, some people don't, but it's like, when I go out of state, sure, I'll say, yeah, I'm from San Diego County, so people know like a general area. Yes, it's usually how I tell them. Because I tell Oceanside, they're like, what? Yeah. But you know, I'm like, I'm from Oceanside, but it's in San Diego County. You know, next to Vista, Carlsbad, and then they're like, oh, I've heard of this one, I've heard of that one, or whatever the case is. And it's more so to the fact that, I mean, even like it's almost like. It's almost like scripture for like my lyrics and shit. I got a bar that says, where I come from is scandalous, the haters can't handle us. It's right between San Diego and Los Angeles. Oceanside is the place where I can be found. You know, like the physics of a boomerang, I come back around. Yeah, whatever. But it's a main focal point because so much talent is here, so much ingenuity, so much creativity is here. And like, I can't wait to see what everybody else does, because remember, I have my generation in the city, what I've witnessed, and then the younger generation right now. They're bubbling. They're doing crazy shit, whether that be with like clothing, whether that be with videography, even like yourself, photography, whatever. Like, even besides all that, there's like a lot of entrepreneurs, you know what I mean? Legit, illegit, like, you know what I mean? Illegit, like whatever. Like, it's booming right now. Oh, true. You know, because it's
we're so hungry. Like I said, we need a win. You know what I mean? We need like something that's gonna put us up here and be
Yes,
like,
sir.
bam, that's the fucking stamp. You know?
I agree with you on
Yeah,
that. Especially that's the
yeah.
whole main mission of the podcast. Is one of the missions is to, continue to keep putting Oceanside on the map. You know,
Mhm.
making sure that everybody is aware of
Mhm.
who Oceanside is, who we are as a city,
Yeah,
and all the town. Especially being born and raised here too.
yeah.
And because anywhere I go, I'll tell people I'm from Oceanside. They're like, oh, where? And I'm like, oh, from San Diego. They're like, okay, I'll start naming like you said too as
Mhm.
well.
Mhm.
Instead of that, I want to be able to tell people like, oh, I'm from Oceanside. They're like, oh, I know where that's at. Like, I know about that city. I've heard.
Yeah.
I heard
Yeah.
you have X, Y, and Z artist, or you have X, Y, and Z comedian, or
Yeah.
fashionista,
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, there's
'Cause-
so much talent.
yeah, because when we go somewhere, I'm like, hey, homie, like, where are you from? And it's like, instantly, it's like, nigga, I'm from Oceanside. And it's like, is it like a banging question, or is it more so just you're just trying to figure out where I'm from?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But that's just the mentality we have. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, we'll rep Oceanside when we go to Vista, Carlsbad, wherever, surrounding cities, and then it's definitely we're gonna go somewhere else and rep that shit. You know what I'm saying?
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited, to see what the city, unfolds. And there's, like I said, there's so much changing rapidly as we're seeing it daily by the day. It's changing rapidly. And, I want to continue the mission to continue to keep putting others on the map and just uniting. Another thing is to unite people as well.
Yeah.
So to either bring music artists together or have them collaborate. Almost kind of like a DJ Khaled thing, but I'm not gonna be in there saying DJ Khaled, like, nah, ain't gonna happen.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But it's the unity.
Maybe you should like host an album. Host.
That'd be
like
awesome. I honestly
like
thought about that, and I've had a few music artists talk about that, and it would actually it'd be really nice to host that and do because I like the whole idea with the mic thing that you did for your music video as well. But I was like, I don't see anything for Oceanside having like one specifically for Oceanside where there's all
there
these
used to be ciphers.
We gotta start bringing.
There used to be ciphers. It's just the people that did those things are now in different places. Some of them are locked up. Some of them may be on the run. Some of them may have moved. Families are different. Like, but it was a very like fruitful event, And I remember as a kid, I was like, fuck, I need to get in. When's the next one? They used to post it on I want to say like MySpace and then like eventually Facebook, and there's so much like culture and like hidden stories that used to be around here, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I remember I used to always want to be in like the in crowd, but I don't know, I guess I wasn't cool enough, you know what I'm saying, kind of shit. But there's so much shit out here that people don't know about. Like Oceanside has like a legacy within a legacy. It's like tucked in the fold. True. And I'm trying to bring out like that fold and like put it into like a bandana and rep that shit everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man. Like even back to like the music side and everything, like what I've been thinking about lately is like how people, the psychology of the music. You know what I mean?
I like that you're tapping into that because that hasn't been spoken on, and especially on this show, it hasn't been spoken of, and I love that you're tapping into that.
Well, yeah, let me break you off something real quick. Nah, but it's okay. So when you listen to an artist or you find out about an artist, you come across some music, wherever the case is, yada yada, it becomes a memory, and that memory will either motivate you into, oh yeah, I listen to EDM because I've heard it on a couple scores and films. Oh, I listen to a little bit of country because at one time I was at my cousin's house and this happened, and they're like, oh damn, yeah, that song was playing in the background, or you know what I mean? Or we went to the friend's house, or when my son was born, this was on the radio, whatever the case is, and it's like that's like another factor where like a door that I don't know if people like really tap into it. Maybe they are, and I'm just now getting on that train. But it's when I go around and hang out with people, or I put myself in a setting where antennas are raised, basically people are vibing or whatever the case is. I'm trying to. I don't introduce myself as JKrunk. I'm like, hey, my name is Jerry. As a person, as a human individual. And, throughout the night or throughout the course of the conversation, eventually, if music does come up or something like that, then we talk about it, you know, and then I'll be like, hey, like, you guys should listen to this guy, you know, and then they listen to it, and they're like, oh yeah, he's cool, he's all right, you know, or whatever the case is, and then you're like, oh, well, listen to this other one, this is like another song by him that's pretty cool. They listen to it, oh yeah, that one's cool, I like that one, you know, and then I'll be like, oh, that's me, you know, and then they're like, oh, no way, you know. I do that not only to get like an honest reaction from like the music,
which is genuine.
You know?
It shows. It shows how to improve.
Completely unbiased.
Yeah.
And then also, it becomes a memory to them. It becomes a memory, like, oh, I remember when you first showed me your music. You know what I mean? And it's more of like a intimate, more of like an impactful approach. The only thing about it is like it's a smaller net, but that smaller net will like, you know, when you go back around, like, hey, and then people ask you, like, how's the music going? You know, and it's more of like a personal level, you know, so I kind of use that as like a fuel as well, you know, because sure, like anybody can, you know, start rapping and imitate, you know, the greats, anybody can imitate whatever.
Flows
but,
and copy, copy and paste. It's a lot of that.
I'm trying to pave my own path. And like I said, like, you know, I haven't went through all these things just to keep like taking L's, like that win is coming, you know.
Yes, sir, it is.
It's coming,
and it's coming soon. It really is, and I can feel it. I know you feel it. Like it's something really nice about this year. Is like a lot of people say, oh, this year's my year, but this year is the year that changes Oceanside. This is the year that changes everybody in the city. Like
yeah. Like I stopped saying like this is my year or whatever.
I had to see it like that too.
Yeah,
it never was.
Yeah, well, it's not even that. It's just because like, think about it. A year is like so short.
It is.
You know what I mean? It goes by real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like here we are already in March, basically the end of March. It's about to be summer in like a couple months. And the next thing you know, everybody's gonna be talking about like what's going down on Halloween, what we doing for family on Thanksgiving, like Christmas. And guess what? It's 2026.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
New Year's comes around the corner. Yep.
Nah, man, I'm trying to outlast, you know, all like the constructs of time and shit. I'm trying to leave like a legacy, something like Michael Jackson, like Prince, like James Brown, you know, B.B. King, whether it be like Nas, you know what I'm saying, Outkast, you know, you play a song today and it still sounds like that could have been made today. You know what I mean? And
the timeless masterpieces.
Exactly. Yeah. But then there's a couple like, you know, mainstream artists that are like, oh, they made that 5 years ago and it feels dated. You know what I mean? It didn't age well. You know?
Yeah,
so,
it's true.
So yeah, I'm trying to dance with the stars, literally, man. I'm trying to break through the ceilings, you know. I'm not trying to be this whole facade of like a gangster rapper. I'm not trying to be a club rapper or, you know, just like a party rapper or anything like that. I'm not trying to just be like backpack or underground or whatever the case is. I'm trying to encompass all of that. And like that's where my greatness comes from, because you never know what I got next. True. You know what I'm saying? True. So when you hear like, even when you're talking about earlier about the reels and stuff, you're like, oh damn, he got another reel out. Oh damn,
I've been peeping on that 24/7. I've been
the crazy thing about it is like none of them sound the same. I don't have a sound.
No, it's different.
You know what
They're all different, and that's what I like about them, because it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it's like, okay, so if you don't like this sound, well, check this one out.
All genres.
Yeah, I like it.
All genres,
I like
no genre, whatever you want to call it. Like I do it all.
And I see that the comfortability. I mean, you show it well on video.
Yeah.
That you're not scared to get out of your comfort zone and actually get in and tap in on that song, whatever you're performing. Like you.
Nah, because we were in LA on Sunset Boulevard when we shot like a couple of.
Let's talk about that. Then. Let's talk about the spoofs on that. All right. Let's talk about
we
that.
were on Sunset Boulevard, or I'm sorry, Hollywood Boulevard, where all the stars are and everything like that. And of course, it's full of tourists. And like the drone is going and everything, and my cousin's like, all right, you ready? Go ahead and like spit your verse. You're gonna walk down the sidewalk, and I'm like, here? He's like, yeah, it'll be dope. Just go ahead and do it. I'm like, all right, you know, and like, mind you, I've done shows and everything like that, you know, and it's different because like I'm up here and they're down there, but it's completely different when you're like walking through the crowd or like, you know, being like this entity like that's you know, just like, oh shit, what the fuck was that? Like, oh, there's a drone, like, are they filming? Who is this nigga? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
it makes you ask a lot of questions.
Yeah, it throws you for a loop, but it was pretty fun. And I would say it took me a couple like tries to like get in the mode and just be like, you know what, fuck it, Like, Jerry, you want to win, you need to win, and you need to fucking step it up. So go ahead and do your shit, dog. Like, you know what I mean? There's other people out here doing like TikTok dances in front of places. Like, it can't be, like, it's not that bad. You know what I'm saying? It's not that bad, Jerry. Just go ahead and fucking do your shit, dog. You know? So yeah, went out there, did it, took a couple takes, you know. Shout out to the homie Delete. He's doing his shit up there. Shout out to my cousin King, you know. Shout out to my nephew Kevin, because like they were the ones that were there and made me feel like I'm home. A piece of home was with me. So I'm like, okay, sure, I can do it by myself, but they made me feel even more comfortable and stuff. That's why you'll see them in some of like the 360 footage and stuff like that. And they're grooving with me and everything like that. Yeah, that was like my my birthday weekend too. You know, I was like, even when you're trying to celebrate, you still got to work. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
Yeah,
the work don't stop.
Work ethic is crazy.
I know. I was just thinking about it too. I got my birthday coming up on April, and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna have to do a birthday episode. Like I'm gonna make it happen. Like I'm gonna work. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, we gotta celebrate. Maybe
I appreciate it.
Maybe like I'll interview you or something like that.
That'd be
or, like,
dope.
Hold the camera or something like that, man. Yeah, dog. Like, cause you got a story to tell as well. You know?
Sir. So, yes, sir. I just had my lady. She interviewed me for the 1 year anniversary. So I just had my 1 year anniversary this Monday.
Okay.
And I was on. Thank you so much. I was on a. I don't know the name of the bridge. It's a historic bridge, but it's like
San Diego.
Way past. No, it's in Oceanside. It's closer to like Vista and Oceanside. It's way back on the 76.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but
I don't know the name of it. I didn't even know it had a name, but everybody knows what bridge you're talking about. It's over there, like going towards like Bonzo.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, the Bonzo Bridge.
Everybody knows what you're talking about.
So I was out there, and I was like, oh, I'm trying to figure out where I want to film, and I filmed right there. And my lady was interviewing me. She was asking me questions too, and it was really nice because I actually at the Coat Fest I was interviewed by, I think it was Urban News. Urban News is their radio show from Las Vegas. Okay. So it was really nice to get interviewed too, and I've never been interviewed. That was the first person to interview me, and then my lady to re-interview me for this anniversary. And but I'm always open to be interviewed because I got a lot to tell. I got a lot of
maybe we should do that for your birthday.
That'd be dope.
I can ask the questions. I'll ask the questions because I got some good questions for you.
I appreciate that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And I want to ask, like, let's talk a little bit about the process of your, when it comes to writing music. Okay. So, how does that all start? Where do the ideas come from, or how does it? Let's talk about that.
I was looking at the cat.
Yeah, I know. I've been seeing a little man just kind of.
That's like the neighborhood cat. He be mobbing. But I would say when it comes to writing music, honestly, it starts with the beat. I listen to beats like all the time, whether that be on BeatStars, whether that be on YouTube, whether it be like something that somebody sent me, or like I just like happen to come across it, and I'm like, damn, this beat like once it demands a certain like excellence.
Yes.
Look at the cat right there, fucking. But it demands it. So when I listen to music tells its own story. It's its own. Some beats don't even need lyrics. True. Some beats are just like, yo, it's perfect the way it is. Don't touch it. You know what I mean? It's almost like a sacred thing, And then when I'm writing, though, I would say I listen to the beat. Beat gets selected. Listen to it a couple times. And then it's just like on the back burner. And then I'll let the muses, I guess you could say, or like my conscience, like my subconscious, like pick it up. And then there's times where I wake up in the morning on my way to work, I'm playing the beat in my car, and then I hit my notes and I start like writing, come up with the hook.
Yeah.
Come up with, it sounds like this needs to be put on it or whatever the case is. What's up, Sammy? You want to come out here? All right, come on.
Come out.
Yeah. And then eventually, just you start writing like the lyrics and stuff like that. I was doing that on the way here, honestly, from work.
Oh, that's neat.
But the weird stuff is I start doing it to like 3 songs at a time. Like I'll write like 4 bars for one.
Yeah.
4 bars. All right, this is the bridge. Okay, and then as I'm like hitting the light, I'm like, it's not the vibe right now. All right, do the other song. You know what I mean? And then I'll come up and be like, okay, this one is chilling. This one is chilling. This is chilling. And then write like another 2 bars, 3 bars, and be like,
yeah.
All right.
You're the first person I ever met that can do that. Yeah. I've never met somebody that. No, you're the first person I met that That's like, okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of this. It's usually like I'll hear, oh, I'm on one song only until it just gets done. But to hear that, that's actually pretty unique.
No, because like I don't know what it is. Like I don't know. There's like something within my creative realm that like everything is like connected kind of shit, and it's so it's like, okay, this will boost this into that, you know. So come over here real quick. Come over here. Say hi to the look. Say hi to the camera. Say hi. Say hi. Tell them your name. Tell them your name.
My
Sammy. Okay.
Thank you.
You're
for
gonna go
being
have
on
fun?
the show.
Okay.
Have
Okay.
fun, buddy.
Make sure you don't go in the street. Stay on the sidewalk.
That's the youngest person to ever be on the podcast. He's making history right there.
Right.
You don't even know it.
But yeah, it's because there was a time where like I used to smoke, right? And I would just spend time just in my room, out on like the corner on the porch, and just be chiefing, and then like listening to the beat on repeat, just on repeat, kind of like I'm writing, and then I'm like, okay. It used to be from the perspective of.
Daddy.
Hey, buddy.
Hold on, Sammy. Hey, what you doing?
Daddy,
Yes.
I'm gonna get a Slurpee.
Okay, go tell your mom. Take your scooter and tell your mom.
I told my mom already.
You don't need a Slurpee.
I need a Slurpee.
Okay, go tell mommy. No, leave it there. Leave it there. Go tell mommy you need a Slurpee.
I was telling Mom.
Okay, go tell her again. Go tell her. 2 times, but that's 3 fingers. Go ahead and tell her. Okay, good job. You switched it. But anyway, yeah, fatherhood.
That's so precious right there. Those are precious moments, honestly.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, it used to be just like focusing on one at a time, and that eventually evolved into, no, but there's other things. If you listen to certain like segments of the beat, certain notes, certain bridges, certain textures of it, it's almost like painting. You know what I mean? It just they all complement each other. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter if the notes are different. It doesn't matter if the BPM is different, so beats per minute or whatever the case is. They complement each other, and especially if you're an artist that is a true artist, because I'm not just a rapper. You know what I mean? I'm not just like, a singer or
let's tell the world that
I'm an artist. You know what I mean? Like when Prince came back and was like he was a symbol. You know what I mean? Like
I remember that.
He came back
literally
he changed it up and like he basically leveled up to being the artist. You know, and that's what that's what I aspire to be. You know, but when you write, man, it's almost like there's something in me that just comes out, and that's why I call it like the muse. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know if you ever seen that movie Soul.
I have actually seen it, yes.
Yeah, when he plays piano and stuff like that. And when he taps in and he's just like, man, it's just like when I hit those keys and he goes off to this other world and everything like that. Like, that's the best way I can give you a illustration of what it is, but it's more of like a spiritual thing. Everything just kind of like goes away and you're in the zone and you can just write, or an idea will come up, and like sometimes, you wake up the next morning and it comes up, like as I'm coming out the door to go to work, like that idea will pop, and then you need to elaborate on it, you need to explain it. Now the difference is for the outcome is where are you going to place this song? Now, is this a song for the club? Okay, then you need to write in this area. If it's for something just to ride to, then think about how you feel, the things that you see as you're driving in your car.
I like that.
Is this for a performing song? Okay, if that's the case, I need to incorporate a couple cool things that I can do while I'm on stage, and then like also interact with the crowd. And then also, if you're just trying to tap in and like, put that internal feeling in another person, okay, you need to make sure your shit is deep. You know what I mean? Because it comes down to the listener. And that's why I was talking about earlier with like the memories and everything like that events the core memory of, the song that you listen to or whatever the case is. It's like, the shit's no easy feat, and plenty of times you'll see artists dabble across like the line of, what do they call it? Like insanity and like, and like comedy and like all that stuff, you know, it's a beautiful thing, you know. You can call it the universe, you can call it your ancestors, you can call it, you know, your subconscious, you can call it whatever the case is, but like there's each song, each beat has a story that needs to be told, and you need to be the conduit that can actually draw that from yourself and be the vessel to actually execute, you know, and put that forward.
I like that.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
You know, and I was just I was tapping into you know, you're talking about spiritual and that connection. Yeah, you can really feel that on the like with your music too, and then the when you sent me that link to Kanye's new album that he dropped.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Bully
So you heard it?
Oh, I listened to the entire thing. Oh, the entire thing,
That's
and
dope. That's dope.
it was really nice to listen to it because you can feel
It's
it's like a spiritual connection you just tap in with, and it's like the old. You start reminiscing of certain things, and it's really nice, and that's what I like about music like that. Is it puts you in a trance, it puts you in a place where you remember X, Y, and Z, and it's good to relive those moments at times. It really is.
It's sometimes it's more comfortable than clothes.
Exactly.
You know, it just puts you in like that mentality where you're just like, damn, like time used to be like this, or like life used to be like this, and then now like as like an adult, you're like, damn. You know, it's beautiful listening to this because now I understand what it means.
Exactly.
You know, because with knowledge and with knowledge comes understanding. With understanding comes strength, comes beauty, comes growth, whatever the case is. But yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
No, it really is. And then I appreciate you sharing that. And I want to ask, is there any other talents besides music that you do? I'm not spoiling means or nothing, but just wanted to ask: is there any other talents you do besides music that you can give a sneak peek to? Okay.
I fuck around with voices, like you know.
Y'all stay tuned for that.
Yeah, I just you know, whether that be a newscaster, whether that be like for a character,
exactly.
Whether that be for whatever, you know, I'm just tapped in. You know, like I said, I'm all about creativity. I'm all about growth. Even when I'm like cruising in my car, we all sing in the shower. We all sing in our car to ourselves and stuff. Do like the whole karaoke deal and everything like that. But you know, there's times where like you got to learn how to control your voice. You got to learn how to like fluctuate it or project it or whatever the case is in it. That all depends on the situation you're in. Like,
true.
Got to be very self-aware. You know. So yeah. I would say if anybody knows any voice actors or how to get into voice acting studios, hit me up because I can do it.
Yeah, let's make this happen, y'all. Y'all tap in. I mean, anybody, let's make this happen, y'all.
Yeah, but I could do newscaster, you know, freaking announcer, like all that stuff. And it's just because you hear it and like you just recreate it. Like even my wife can tell you when like what was it, like years back, I used to like doing like impressions. I used to try to do it. I used to do like an Obama one. I used to do like an Eddie Murphy one, you know, and just try to like mix it in, you know. And it wasn't even like to the music. It was just like kind of funny, you know what I mean? And like, you know, nigga just like high, just living life, you know what I'm saying? Just doing dumb shit. But it would be cool to do it. And then eventually I was like, yo, you know, it'd be really cool as if you spit your first verse like this, and then your second verse in a completely different voice, or in a completely different style too. And then people are like, "Damn, but who the fuck is that guy on the second?" I was like, "Yo, nigga, that's me." Like, you know. And like I'll say this, like every artist should be, I can't say if they are or not, but every artist should be like a die. So there's like 1 through 6 on that cube, you know. And it's like you have many faces of it as an artist. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, that 1 might be like fatherhood. The 2 might be like hard worker. Number 3 might be a spiritual advocate. And then like number 4 is this, number 5 is that, number 6 is this. And it's like but it's still all the same piece. And then most games that you play, game of life, whatever you want to call it, you got 2 pieces. True. So it's like the duality of life. So you got your spiritual side, your spiritual die, and then you got your physical, or you have, you know, like the light side, you have the dark side, whatever the case is. And it's like, you just got to find that balance and whatnot and, you know, make it something. I'm so sorry. I go on all these tangents.
You don't, no, you're good. Cause I like this. It's a really good, like in depth, and it gives it's showing the world who you are. It's showing that, you know, you're, besides just a music artist, father, that you're an intellectual person, that's, you know, a deep thoughted person, and you really think about it and process it. And it's nice to be able to actually talk to people that can do that.
And it's like Thank you. Yeah, Sammy out here cruising the streets.
Going.
You know. But yeah, it's just more. Yeah, man. Because I got a lot to say, and like I said, this is my first interview, my first podcast interview.
That. Thank you so much.
And so like that's what makes it like super cool as well. You know, I'm out here with my son, and he's being like a little brat. You know, as you can see. But we're out here doing it. You know, Sammy, leave the screen alone.
And I appreciate you taking your time for hopping on this interview with me, especially because for y'all that might wonder, well, why did the scene change? First time that I actually got to interview this gentleman right here.
Yeah,
it's my fault. I forgot an adapter, and a piece of it, the connector didn't connect to the phone all the way. So 6 minutes 30 seconds of the video, audio caught out. So we're like, well, let's run it back and let's make this happen to give you guys a unique episode with a little bit of different scenery. And like I said, I really appreciate you taking your time as well, and sharing your message, and it's a really deep-rooted intellectual conversation, especially all the advice you're giving out. Like, it's unique, especially there's gonna be a lot of people out there that are going to need to hear that. They're gonna want to hear that.
Yeah.
Or need to hear it, and it's nice. I met a gentleman actually on my 1-year anniversary. I was filming on that bridge.
Okay.
And he just kind of randomly popped out of nowhere. And he asked, he's like, oh, what do you run like media? I was like, oh, I do a podcast. I'm actually doing my 1 year. He's like, oh, what can I watch? And I was like, no problem, sir. That's fine. So yeah, he was there posted, just making sure that nobody else, I guess, was gonna come around the corner. But it was cool though, and took down his number too, and he was like, oh, I would like to share my story. I was like, let's have you on the show. Yeah. And I tell people, it's like my show's for everybody. It's for all walks, all walks of life.
Word. Thank you, baby. Appreciate it.
And it's all for all walks of life, and that's what keeps me motivated. That's what's unique about this show. It's not just for high-ranking people. It's not just for, I only do music artists. It's for everybody.
Yeah.
It's my chance to give you guys an opportunity to share your voice, share your story.
Yeah.
And be heard. I mean, yeah, it's really nice to have fans all over the world. I keep seeing the analytics. I keep seeing fans from Portugal, from UK, Russia, Germany. Yeah. It's unique. It's very unique. It's really nice.
That's the cool thing about I could say social media right now is that it's like anybody's game. Anybody can win.
Exactly, and that's the neat part.
And it's like, honestly, it's just you got to find out your formula. What you're doing for like artists here in Oceanside, whether that be, even if you travel out to San Diego, LA, wherever you go, like it's still like around the loop. You know what I mean? And I think like what you're doing is like very positive, and it's very like cool that you're doing it, because sure, we've had to like reschedule a couple times and everything like that, but at the end of the day, like you're still great with communication. You're great with like, hey, these are going to be like a couple of things I might throw in there, and then like you really just freebase it. It's not scripted. It's not like, oh, like try to avoid these topics, or it's not politically correct, you know what I mean? It's just real raw,
and that's what I like about it, and I appreciate that, because I try to keep it genuine and raw, and it's a conversation, because it's a conversation that y'all can have too. It's a normal conversation, like you said. It's not scripted. None of this is scripted. I used to do that, and I learned that. I was like, okay, it's starting to sound repetitive. I'm like, I'm not really building that true genuine connection. I'm like, if I just be able to just chit chat. What's up, buddy?
No, go ahead. Continue.
And
don't hurt him.
Oh,
Sammy.
no!
Don't hurt him. Go over there with mommy. Yeah.
But it's amazing. It's amazing to be able to build that genuine connection, and meeting all these new faces, all these new people, and all the talent. Yeah. And being able to see that other side of the artist side or the talent side, and their the human side. Mm-hmm. And I like to focus on that too, because I mean, a lot of times people get the misconception of, oh, well, you sing about X, Y, and Z, or you rap X, Y, and Z, so you must be X, Y, and Z.
No.
And it portrays an image sometimes that it's like, that's not true.
Yeah.
And it puts you in a bad predicament sometimes, or it might get you tested. It happens.
Yeah. And and like, I don't ever want to portray it. I hope it doesn't come off as me being like, oh, I'm Mr. Cool, and I've been super hood my whole life, and I only know real niggas, and we're all strapped. Like, I don't want to hear about that shit, because it's like that's another thing that threw me into like the position that I'm in now, and like the path that I'm on now, is that there's so many hood rappers, and I'm not trying to discredit anybody. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. You know, I respect you, what you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, everybody got to eat. Everybody has their path, their lane, and whatnot. I don't know, like, your grandmother's prayers. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know your blessings. I don't know, like, what you've been through, whatever. But, like, there's so many artists right now, mainstream, local, underground, whatever you want to call it, that are just pushing, like, the certain sound to where it's just like there's no balance. Like, so when somebody does come out that's a little bit different, they're like, he's corny, he's a cornball. And it's
I've heard that from time to time.
Yeah,
Actually.
yeah,
it's
and it's
odd.
like, and it's like he's not corny, he just has a different perspective on things. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
If we were all Tupacs, nigga, like, everybody would be at war at all times, you know?
Exactly.
Everybody has a little bit of a Tupac in them, but then, hey, what about, like, you know, a Van Gogh, or, you know, a Picasso, or like a Basquiat, or, you know, homie might have a little bit of, you know, sports in him. You know, he might have a little different, he might be a poet laureate. He could have been, you know, a freaking valedictorian, you know, like, whatever the case is. And it's like, don't get caught up in the image, because the image is, like, momentary. It's so momentary. Like you really finna do that for your whole life? You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Like, the longevity of it. Like I said, this isn't like, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm not calling anybody out, but it's just like, these are things that I've observed in my lifetime, to where I was like, you know what? I just want to be an artist, because an artist is fluid. He can do whatever he needs to do, whatever he wants to do, to become prosperous, and then, you know, be able to just get into certain areas and whatnot that not everybody can get into. Because even locally, right, when we talk about shows, like you're talking about Coat Fest, right?
Yes.
Like, perfect example, Coat Fest, it would be great for any artist to come up there and do their thing, right? Now, say if there's an open mic down the street and it's at, like, one of these new breweries, and it's like, you go in there, you peep the scene, and everybody's, like, playing a guitar, or they actually got vocals and shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, how can I come in here and be like, all right, everybody put your hands in the air, we're about to do some rap shit, you know what I mean? And it's like, they're not feeling this. Like, and you can sense that vibe, you know what I mean? So, like, an artist, like, since, like, I have songs that can fit into those genres, you know, or into those spaces, I'm like, okay, oh, this is what it calls. All right, let me go outside and, like, practice my lyrics, like, 1 or 2 times, and, like, come in here and do this song, you know what I mean? And leave with, like, that genre of audience, and then pull them back in. And then when they're going through, like, the playlist on Spotify, or wherever they're listening to my songs, they'll be like, oh shit, he has other stuff too, you know? Ooh. You know? You okay? Okay. Yeah, just little stuff like that, you know? And like I said, I'm really, like, a deep thinker. I analyze all these situations, and I'm like, how can I put myself in there and not jeopardize my message, not jeopardize myself? At the same time, like, what time do they shut down? Because I still got to come back home. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
No,
you know what I mean? Like, little things like that, you know?
True.
So, yeah, man. Like I said, I'm just an artist. I don't have an agenda. I don't have, like, something that I'm pushing. I'm very open to the experience of artistry and how I can get there. And I hope you guys can, you know, join my journey, you know, like, watch me and support me and whatnot. And just keep in mind, man, like, an artist can be an artist all day, but until, like, the people, like, talk about him, or you know, repost or reshare or put his stuff out there and, like, spread the fire, spread the message, then, like, nothing else can happen. You know what I mean? It's almost like that saying, and I'm gonna butcher it so bad. If a tree falls, like, in the forest, you know, only because nobody heard it doesn't mean, like, it didn't fall, some shit like that. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm talking about. You guys can Google it. But
I'll put it in the video. I'll find the quote. I'll put it in there.
Yeah. Put it, like, right.
I'll like put it right here.
Somewhere around
I got
here.
you.
Yeah, but I would say, yeah, man. It comes down to you guys. It comes down to the people. You know, keep in mind, like, we as consumers, we as creatives, like, we as whatever, like, we make things what they are.
True.
You know, movies, when you go to check out a movie, if the people don't like it, they're gonna leave a bad review, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
then like that movie
Quick.
doesn't do great. You know, it doesn't age well. It's the same thing with music. You know, if that song isn't great, people aren't gonna like it. It's not gonna age well. It's not gonna go great. You know, so it's like with me, I'm up and coming. You know, I hope you guys can, you know, see me as like a person just like yourself and like treat me as yourself. You know, because I would do the same to you. You know, I would offer you like a glass of like my drink. Unfortunately, like I'm almost out, but but you know, I would offer it to you, you know, just like anybody else, you know what I mean? There's so much that we can accomplish as one, you know what I mean? And like I'm not asking for like your dollars, I'm not asking for anything like that. I'm just asking you to share my music, share this message, share this podcast, share even like your art that you're working on right now, or, you know, even if you're at work, wherever you're listening to this podcast at, just know like there's something in you that you've been working on and that dream needs to be achieved. And all you got to do is just step into it, man. You just got to step into it.
It's true. It's that and stepping out of your comfort zone and just making it happen. Just
make time.
You got to make, you got to make the time.
Yeah.
You're going to you have to have the motivation. You got to have the want for it.
Yeah. Like you want this.
You got to be hungry for it.
Like I said, I come out here, start up my car, and immediately put my beat on. And I'm listening to it on the way to work. All right, got a couple bars, I'm making time for it.
Yes,
I get to work and I'm like looking around. All right, I'm in work mode. Break time, walking around the building, listening to that same beat, writing even more. All right, lunchtime, listening to that beat, going around, like, you know what I mean? Like you have to make time for it because your gift, you know, if you don't pay attention to it, if you don't love it, it will eventually like push itself out to somebody else.
It will.
There's so many times where I've seen that. Like I'll come up with like a concept and whatnot, like, and this is funny, this is pure coincidence. I'm not saying like this nigga stole the idea because like I don't know this guy.
This ain't no low blow, guys. Just letting y'all know.
Yeah, and I remember like playing like, you know, a couple songs for like my wife and stuff, and I was like, babe, like we're listening to oldies. I'm like, wouldn't it be so cool if somebody came out here and did like, you're like, I want to sample like When I Hear Music or like Lookout Weekend or like Funky Little Beat, and then all of a sudden Kendrick came out with like Squabble Up, and I was like, fucking sat on that idea, didn't you, Jerry? Like, and I'm like I said, I don't know, like I don't know how I'm not connected or anything like that. But it'd be cool to. But at the same time, it's like there's so many times where we'll set things aside because we don't think we're ready, but that's the physical and our mental and whatnot. But it's like, your soul could be saying that you're ready.
Yeah, the time is now. It's not later. It's now. And I've heard that too. Like
now or never.
And especially like for a great example, my lady, she was afraid of doing X, Y, and Z, and she said, "Well, I don't think I have the experience. I don't know if I'm ready." I'm like, "Look, you're not gonna get that experience if you don't just jump in. You gotta do it. That's how you're gonna learn your experience. You're gonna learn what works, what doesn't." Yeah. And, you know, people can tell you, oh, well, I ran my show X, Y, and Z, but you are now the new sheriff in town, so it's on you. It don't matter if you got the advice from so-and-so and so-and-so. You are the one operating the show now, so it's on you, and you got this. And there's no perfect leader. You learn by mistake. You learn trial and error, and that's what I learned. That's what makes a good, genuine leader.
And once again, it comes back to evolution.
Exactly.
And growth. And transitioning and becoming something that's even better for yourself, which also will benefit your family and all that. You know what I mean? Like my wife and son are out here coloring and whatnot. If I wasn't doing this podcast, we'd probably be inside watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Or going over some letters or some numbers and stuff. And I'm not saying that's bad, but it's like there's beauty in everything that you do. There's always like an equal and opposite reaction in everything you do. So it's like treat yourself right, treat your family right, your loved ones right, and just go out there and do it, man.
100%.
You know, just do it. Just do it.
And, you know, I ask y'all, you know, they're going to watch this episode, and I'll be posting a snippet too, so you guys tap in too. You guys will be seeing a snippet shortly. But make sure you guys show, you know, the love and support. And it's very easy, like you say. It's not about the money. You know, you don't have to go buy his music and everything. Maybe a simple share from Apple Music or from Spotify or from YouTube. You know, you guys got to just keep tracking and
just listen to it.
It's very easy to just listen. You can even have it in the background. You know, we won't know that. We won't know if you actually sat down and listened to our episode or you had it in the background. But the support is what counts. It's the thought. And it's very easy to do a click, a share, and a like. It's very, very simple.
Yeah.
I mean, you thumb through a bunch of videos all the time and you like things.
Yeah.
What's so hard about sharing?
Yeah.
And my message for Oceanside out here, for y'all out here, like, you know, I want everybody to win. So it's like not just one person's going to win by themselves. We are going to win as a unit. And in order to do that, we need to support each other, no matter how good your music is or how bad their music is or X, Y, and Z the other way around.
Yeah.
We got to be supportive because we all have different talents, and what we need is motivation and we need support. So if we support each other, we're gonna grow as a unit. We're gonna move quick.
Yeah, I've been preaching that since 2017. Like, it's always a unit. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like Wu-Tang.
Yes, like the Wu-Tang Clan. Exactly.
Like Vista's a bureau. Oceanside's like a borough. Not bureau, but borough.
Yeah.
I would say Carlsbad is a borough. San Marcos is a borough. Esco is a borough. Like La Costa, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, all these things, like, if we all came together, and I'm not saying in a sense of like all get on one song and like, you know, compilation type shit. It's like, if we all come together and like push each other, like push each other forward.
Yes.
Push each other together and link together and stop worrying about street politics. Stop worrying about he say, she say. Actually get in the studio. Actually, you know, take a picture with, you know, do a project for, or whatever the case is. Like, that's all it takes.
And it's positive.
I'm looking at the camera because, like,
exactly,
everybody and anybody can do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's true.
So,
it's 100% true. And it's that positivity.
Yeah.
Positivity will change a lot.
It will.
It will. And, you know, like you said about, you know, politics and whatnot, I mean, sometimes it's y'all got to just put your pride to the side. And and it's not about you. Sometimes it's about the impact you're going to leave on the youth, the impact you might leave on people that are older than you. So it might be, oh, you just changed the younger generation's life. Like, okay, maybe I don't have to do this and that. Yeah. And maybe the older people that are still in the same habit, you might be the reason they change. They change. And, you know, and if we all want to prosper, prospering is taking care of your neighborhood. If you want to be real G, it's taking care of your neighborhood, not wrecking it, not causing commotion. You know, if you really want to grow as a unit, then it's, you know, politics got to be pushed to the side, and it's how we can make money together, because the money's there, y'all. The money's there. And if we keep fighting against each other, we're never all going to be rich. Like, nah.
Not even that. It's just like one successful artist feeds at least 16 families.
It does. It truly does. And it's phenomenal, because I've been paying attention to that, actually, behind the scenes with certain artists. And I'm like,
because it's like, imagine your favorite artist today, right? Now, imagine their stylist, imagine their hairstylist, imagine their engineer, imagine their videographer, imagine, you know, the cast and crew if they're in a film, imagine the person that works at the store that they just purchased the stuff at, you know, imagine like the car salesman that sold them the vehicle, imagine even like, you know, the dealer, or imagine whatever, like that entity with those funds are feeding X, Y, and Z on both sides, whether, like I said, it's legitimate or illegitimate, whatever, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, people are eating, people are becoming
mouth
more
are being
prosperous.
fed. Yes, sir.
And that's what I'm trying to do, is become prosperous. I'm trying to be, you know, like a tree, you know what I mean? 1,000 leaves, you know what I'm saying? Like, and those leaves each go to a different family, but everybody got shade at the end of the day when it's like hot, you know what I'm saying? When times get rough, you know what I mean? Like, you guys get it. You get it, you know what I'm saying? So, once again, you know, I know I'd be going on these tangents.
No,
and stuff,
I appreciate it. These are good. These are good talks.
Because nobody actually ever like picked my brain before. And like, I love that. You know what I mean? I love what you're doing.
Thank you. I
like
appreciate
I said,
that.
It's all positive. It's all like, and it almost seems like effortless, because some people, you know, like come around and they just ask you like these like fucking super like PC questions. Like, so you're telling me that, you know, your name is JKrunk, and JKrunk is like similar to this and that. And it's like, no, you're asking me like, yo, like, how are you human, and how do you continue doing your human task while becoming like a superstar or being an alien at the same time?
And that's what I like about the genuine story, because I've been seeing a lot of interviews, with music superstars, and they, you know, it's just focusing on the superstar side, the music side of them, and it's like, well, what about them as a person? And then you find out, oh, they're a genuine person. They like giving back to the community, or You know, they're helping
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, supporting X, Y, and Z, and it's a beautiful thing to see. So
Yeah.
why not capture this moment now that I'm, you know, we're all growing and prospering. I can't wait to see the future down the road. We're going to be having the same interview, but it will be behind stage of some crazy big event, or
Yeah.
you have arena sold out,
Yeah.
and we'll be backstage doing this.
Yeah.
And it's going to be nice. Or Rolling
I'm
Loud, who knows? Like,
excited.
it's going to
I'm
happen, and I'm
excited.
excited for that.
It's gonna happen sooner than later.
It will.
Like even
It
when we're
will.
talking about it, like I'm starting to like envision it. Like, and yeah, I'm not gonna keep going on tangents, but like I can envision like the blossoming of everything. Come here. Show them how cool your phone is. Look.
See your
look,
phone?
Look.
Ooh, you got that carbon
Boom, my boy got that flip
fiber.
phone.
Look at
Tell
you,
him, look,
buddy.
carbon fiber flip phone. Tell him what's
Lightweight.
up. It's all good.
There you go.
Oh, you got chalk all over me. It's okay. Hey, look. Go finish the Spidey ones.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Not like that.
What? Help mommy. That's all right. It's all good. It's all love. You know what I mean?
It is.
But it's cool, you know. Like I said, I really want to thank you, you know, for giving me this space.
Mm-hmm.
Given like the time, like I said, we had to reschedule a couple
Yes, sir.
times, and
I appreciate you
whatever the
being
case
so
is.
cooperative too and supportive of that. Because
I get
a lot
it.
of things are out of my control, and it's like, and I'm learning that too. At first, when I remember my first time I had to reschedule, and I beat myself up so bad on that. But I was like, no,
It's all
I'm
good.
human. Like
That's
I gotta
all good.
learn. Like I'm just human too. Like things happen.
You know the coolest part about that? If it's meant to be, it'll still happen.
Exactly, and if it's not, then it is what it is. And
It'll
and it's funny
still
because I've
happen.
actually, I'm not gonna throw names, but there are certain people that I haven't heard back. I haven't heard back yet. I mean, it might be my fault. I'm like, oh well, I haven't heard from you, but it's like, hey, it's a two-way street.
Hey,
Hit me up.
Hey, call them back.
Yeah, make sure y'all hit me back
Call
up.
'em
Like,
back, okay?
I want to get you guys' stories out there. I want to, you know, share you guys' talent. This is for everybody. This is for everyone. So
Swallow your pride and drop your ego and call them back.
let's make it
Because
happen.
this interview, it could change a lot of things for you. It could change a lot of things for him. It could change a lot of things for your family. Like, you know what I mean? Like I said,
Yeah.
no tangents, but just do it. Just do it.
Thank
do
you,
it.
thank
Stop
you.
being scared.
And I want to ask for the people in the audience, where can they find you? So let's put it out there where people can actually tap in.
At work. No.
I love that.
At work or
Oops.
you know, at work, taking care of this guy right here, you know, with his big personality. Wonder where he gets it from. His mama over there. His mama, he got a big head just like his mama. Hey, don't stick your tongue out. But anyway, you can find me on Instagram at the real JKrunk.
I'll make sure I put it there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, he's gonna put it right here.
Yeah, I'll put
It's
it
gonna
right
be
there, y'all.
Magical, because I was gonna spell it out for you guys.
I got you.
But yeah, the real JKrunk on Instagram. Yeah, I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on TikTok. I do have a TikTok account, but like I don't post on it. It's been years since I posted on it. I'm not. The algorithm is weird over
Yeah,
there.
it is.
You know?
Same here. I got a TikTok too, but it's
It's weird.
Yeah,
it's
is.
weird.
It's odd.
It'll throw you in a rabbit hole real quick, and I'm not trying to be there. I'm trying to still be open and free. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? So yeah, find me there. Send me DMs, please.
Yes,
you know,
y'all
if
make
need
sure
to
to tap
talk,
in.
whatever the case is, and you guys need whatever. You know, you guys got a song concept. You guys got beats for me. You guys got, you know, art. You know, you guys anything. I got it for you. We'll work together. We'll do this. I'll post it. And like I said, like I'm up and coming. I can't guarantee there's gonna be anything that'll be like you know, whatever from it.
Yeah,
you know, I can't say
overnight
it's just-
sensation type deal.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
say it's gonna be like overnight sensation. I can't say it's gonna be viral or anything like that. But like, it'll be cool because when we look back at all this, like in years and stuff, like when I do make it, because it's coming soon,
It's gonna
and then
happen.
it'll be like, oh shit, like that's the guy.
Yeah,
you know?
like, oh, I
And-
know him. I was like, whoa, no
Yeah.
way. Now he's on tour.
And I'm
he's
like,
going-
that's the person right there. That person right
Mhm.
there. That person. Those ones over. You know what I mean?
And you feel super cool. You feel like that.
We're all
You
good.
also feel like that rock star. You get put in that rock star position too. It's like, oh wait, yeah, they remembered me too. Okay, that's what's up. Like, oh, I know that music. Or like, I actually know him.
Yeah,
And it's pretty tight to be
yeah.
able to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Exactly.
And you know, I
Yeah.
want to ask: is there any upcoming music that's coming out so we can let the people know?
They
can tap in?
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's a lot. There's a lot of
Mhm.
music coming.
Or how often do you drop so we can let people know?
I got a bean.
You got a bean?
You got a bean?
Show me your bean.
You got a bean in your
Babe,
pocket?
He's all right. Show me
Magic
your bean.
Oh.
Whoa.
Nice.
Did you want to get on camera, babe? All right.
She's like, no.
All right. I would say I don't have like an actual like drop date or anything. The last one I dropped was called Dreamer.
Yes.
And that's on that was on my birthday. That was like a present to myself because I resonated with like that song so much. Like, cause I'm a dreamer, you know? And I got some shit coming.
Yes, there's some big
you
projects
know, and
coming.
it was just
sure.
like literally Dreamer came out like 2 weeks ago, and like I had posted on my story, and I was like, "Yo, only like nine people listened to it." You know, that it was showing me like the Spotify for artists. So I need you guys to go listen to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna repost it, y'all. If it's on, like you said, on Spotify, I'm gonna make sure I put it on there. I'm gonna find the link. I'm gonna post it on so you guys tap in.
Yeah,
show that love and support because I feel that when I look at my episodes and I look in the morning, I'm like,
it's just a good
4
song.
people. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it's a great song, you know. And like I said, like. We'll be laughing about this in like a year or so.
Exactly, when we see millions of views.
Like, bro, remember when we were just like so heartbroken we couldn't get 50 views? Now it's like 50,000 and shit. I'm telling you.
Exactly, and numbers we won't even be able to comprehend correctly.
Yeah, I would say I don't have anything like scheduled right now, but yeah, man. I mean, there's new stuff coming. You know, summer's coming, so there might be like a cool anthem. There might be a cool like club track. There might be a cool like. You know, and I've been in the works with like a couple artists.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you guys should just pay attention.
Y'all don't want to miss out. I promise. It's something you don't want to miss out. I keep saying it now.
Pay attention.
Stay tuned.
Because things are gonna get real pretty soon.
Yep. So you know, hop in now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I appreciate you taking your time for rerunning the episode, for actually continuing and finishing this episode. I really appreciate you taking your time as well because you just got off work the same way I did too, and you got a whole family too, so I appreciate you, like I said, 100%. Thank you so much for everything, and I'm looking forward in the future to catching up with you again, doing a part 2, 3, and just continuously show the growth.
Yeah, on the next one we're gonna be like, I feel like, I don't know, even if we're just like walking or if like we do transitions, like we're...
Oh, by the next one I'll have my drone license, so
cool.
don't worry. We'll be able to pop the drone out.
It'll be cool, trust me.
It'll
be dope, you know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it'll be super cool. You know, I'm honestly like I'm eager to see how much you grow as well. Because because I'm so like over here on my side and like artists and fatherhood and job and all that. But like on the flip side of the same coin, you know what I mean? I'm excited to see what you got coming next. I'm excited to see what episodes you got coming next.
Thank you.
With new artists that like I haven't heard of or the world hasn't heard of or whatever the case is. And man, it's gonna be beautiful, man. You know?
Yes, sir.
Like I said, like you're just gonna like kick back one day, kick your feet up, and like, yo, I'm about to interview like international superstar such and such tomorrow. And then you're gonna go back and you're gonna look at your first episode. You're gonna go back and look at those solo episodes and be like, damn, I was in this position and I didn't think yada, yada, yada. And then now I'm in this place. I'm telling you, man, it's coming for you.
I appreciate that. And honestly, I love that you're focusing on that because I'm actually, just to let everybody know, I do have an interview coming out with an artist from New Jersey. I'm working on...
Is it Red Man?
No, actually, it's a different gentleman, but I'm going to get you connected because his style is pretty unique too. He's pretty hardcore. And he reached out to me on Instagram and we're going to do it over Zoom, I believe. So we're going to do a test run on Sunday just to see how it goes, and if it goes well, Tuesday we'll do it. And if that actually works solid, then you guys are going to be seeing Around the Loop from with an artist from Canada. We'll see the drifters from Japan.
Okay.
Like I got folks that are ready to hop on the show and some international people, so it's going to be pretty unique. And, and this is going to be the test of many, and I'm excited. I'm excited.
Yo, he's international before I am, so check him out.
I feel like people sometimes, Mr. Worldwide, Worldwide. Mr. 305, but it's Mr. 760.
Yeah, exactly. It's all good, man. You'll make it. I'm gonna make it. Everything's gonna be great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the worst times are behind us. Honestly, like things only get better from here.
No, true.
They only get better from here, man. So
I appreciate you, and like I said, everybody, make sure y'all tap in. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Make sure you guys tap in on his Instagram as well. show the love and support on the Spotify. I'll be putting the link there so you guys tap in as well. And like I said, you guys stay tuned for some big projects in the works. Y'all don't want to miss out.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for being on this episode of Around the Loop, and I appreciate you. And that's going to be a wrap.
All right.
Thank you.
Legit.
Appreciate you. Let me...
Yeah.